This is Colin Mason. I'm here to show how to make the origami flasher from Mylar. The first step is to fold the material evenly in half, matching up the edges as best as possible. Unfortunately, the material is not cut perfectly square, so it's important to match up the material as closely as possible and then firmly hold and crease. Now it's important on each edge that's made to crease down with your fingernail and put a deep ridge the first time you make that fold. The creases will be flattened out later, but the first crease initially sets that fold into the material and allows it to be easily recreased later on. Once you have the material folded in half, open it back up and you'll notice that you have a valley fold right down the middle. The material creases right down the middle into a little valley. Now we're going to make 7 valley folds and then another 8 mountain folds. Now it's important, the easiest way to make each of these folds is to crease up the material into a bubble, as you can see here, and then folding the material nice and neatly right into that crease. And again, firmly making the fold. It's best to use your fingernail or some sort of hard object such as a piece of wood, a pen, something else firm in order to make these creases. Flipping the material around, make the bubble, fold right up to the crease where the bubble is, and make the fold. Now that the material is folded into fourths, we're going to make the next couple of folds. The outer 2 folds are same as before. Make the bubble, fold the material in, and crease. It's important to note that all these folds are in the same direction. They're all valley folds on this side of the sheet. Now for the inner 2 folds, the best way to do it is take the second branch out from the edge, number 2, on each side, and bubble that section up, and now flatten out all the others on the side that you're working up to that bubble, and fold the entire sheet up to that bubble. Now these 2 creases that were just flattened out should match up with the ones underneath of it, and crease. Once you have that down, spin around, make a bubble in the second most outer segment. Again, flatten all the creases. Line everything up nice and neat, all the way up to the bubble. And make sure that these former creases are lined up and flat. Now, you should have 8 segments of all even width and 7 valley folds. Now, the material is going to be folded up kind of like a fan or an accordion. The easiest way to do this is to flip an edge over, recrease the fold that you made before, and then fold the material back to the edge and crease. Now, I'm going to zoom in so you can see a little bit better. For the subsequent segments, the easiest way to do this is to take the material and fold over your previous crease that was made and recrease that. And then take just the top layer. Notice you'll have everything thick from what you folded before. And take just the topmost layer, the fold that you just made, and fold that back over to the edge. Just that one layer, line up, and crease the new fold. Okay, same thing, fold over, recrease your old fold, and fold just the top layer back over the edge, and crease right down the middle between your previous folds and where you just folded. Fold over, recrease your old folds, so everything is a nice accordion, and continue. should have full accordion. With the centermost fold being the valley fold. With the valley fold facing up in the center, flatten out the entire sheet. These folds will eventually be recreased, but for now we want the material flat so that you can do the same exact process in the transverse direction. Now it's important to first flip it over and then turn sideways and begin the process anew. The first fold, once you turn sideways, is most important. It's hard to line up the edges with the creases that are currently in the material. And as you can see, when you fold to the initial half fold, the material scrunches up kind of in the center. These are the edges of the top half of the material. Here, rather than out here. So it's important to stretch the material out such that the creases previously made line up over the length and the edges line up on the front. And you run along the crease and make a fold right at the edge of where your previous crease was. And do that for each of the lengthwise creases here. Once those creases are made and straightened out along the material, you complete the folding, making the accordion now in this direction, and the same steps that were completed previously. Making the bubble, folding over, creasing, and then the accordion, folding over, redoing your previous crease, and folding just the top layer back. I'll continue once I have all that done.